plus life.
Players, welcome. Welcome. This is just baby podcast number 3. We're doing a baby podcast today. Not a whole lot to talk about. We're definitely going to talk about one thing today, and that is The Last Dance, which is the 1997-98 Bulls kind of documentary type of thing, I believe is what it is. And is what it sounds like. When originally heard about it last year, it said they were doing a 10-part series on Michael Jordan. But this is still very, very cool because you never, back then you didn't get access to this type of stuff as quickly as you do nowadays. Everyone has a cell phone. Everyone has Instagram, Twitter. Players like to put their business out there, where you really didn't have that at all. Very much, back in the 90s. What is it? 2020 now? So like almost like 30 years, 3 decades ago. Was it 2010? Yeah, 3 decades ago. I'm old, and I'm gonna die soon. Yeah, you didn't get that. You didn't get the behind-the-scene peeks at what, on the outside, everything looks perfect. God, you couldn't see a better, well-oiled machine, a championship team than you saw with that one. It was very eye-opening. There's a lot of things we as, civilians, I will say call civilians or just people not in the know, just did not know about the team and what they were facing in the background. And I thought it was very, very cool how they put it. We're 2 episodes in, and we're just barely scratching the surface. There's still 8 more episodes to go. Man, this was so cool. Took you back. They were going back and forth from the present time, which at that time was in 97 and 98, to going back to when, we all know Michael Jordan's story. Got cut from his basketball team in his sophomore year, came back, junior, senior year, became one of the best players in the country, went to UNC, University of Northern Carolina, and they've touched on that throughout how they've never seen anything like him. And this guy was scoring buckets when you couldn't even score 3-pointers yet. In college anyways, I believe. I think it could in the NBA. And I thought it was really cool. They're going back and forth, especially when, the whole Scottie Pippen episode popped off. They're going back and forth. They were showing, Phil Jackson, how he got a start, which I didn't know he got brought on as an assistant and then became the head coach. And it was Jerry Krause, the GM, who, he did a lot of things to. There's a lot of people say he was a good dude. A lot of people say he put his foot in his mouth. A lot of people have said that he was just, he had a complex, a little man complex, as I think someone said in there. Really put himself in shitty situations. It sounded like it was very self-inflicted most of the time. It was just so much to unveil, to peel back, especially in just 2 episodes. The whole Scottie Pippen thing, I did not know about all that. I mean, I'm a kid too, so I'm only like, 97, 98, so I'm like 14, 13 years old. So I don't know. I mean, plus I grew up Mexican. I started following sports. I remember the first Super Bowl. I remember watching, and it was when the Redskins won. Hold on, one second here. Doug Williams was the quarterback. 1992, I believe, is what it is. Was it? Super Bowl 26 was an American football game between the Redskins and the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, so it was the Redskins. Is it the one? It's the one I'm thinking about, is it? Well, anyways, I think it was that one right there. And this I remember watching, and I was like, I watched wrestling this whole time, but that's the first sport event that I remember watching. But other than that, I was exposed to everything Mexican. Not even soccer. It was we were a hard-working family, so I still was trying to grasp a lot of these sports and how everything worked. And I remember I don't remember a lot of these things. I don't remember. I remember watching Sports Center. I don't remember the whole Scottie Pippen thing going down. I still remember all that, and it's pretty crazy to think. I was like, damn, Scottie Pippen. Yeah, seriously, Scottie Pippen was a very vital piece to all those championships as well, just as much as Michael Jordan was, because in the series they showed, when Jordan came on, the guy was just an animal. He still was very, very good, but they were missing some pieces. And they added Scottie Pippen. They started gelling. They had Charles Oakley, Paxson. It was, at first, they started adding all these pieces, which eventually, they haven't touched on it yet. Eventually, he ended up winning, I think, 89-90 is when they won the first championship. So 2 years after Scottie Pippen came on, I believe. But man, before that, I think everyone knew and what they had in Michael Jordan and what kind of player Michael Jordan was. I loved it. I love that they showed all that. I love the interviews that other players gave. I love that Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Coach Roy Williams, Bobby Knight was part of it as well. It was an old interview, but he was in there. All these legends, Hall of Famers, people who know basketball in and out, praising this man as a young guy like that. They knew he was going to be the best there ever was. There's no more debate. There's just no debate. You can tell there's no debate who is the best player ever. Just isn't. For me, it's always going to be Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. You could even swap out LeBron James for Larry Bird, Magic Johnson. LeBron James definitely top 5, but there's a bunch of world champions, just a bunch of different people who deserve those accolades as the best player. But there's only one at the top of the mountain, and that's Michael Jordan. It just shows there's a will to win. That a lot of people just don't possess. Michael Jordan possessed that. Very competitive. He wasn't the most talented, but he worked at it. Everything was work. It was a work ethic that a lot of people just don't have. A lot of sacrifices a lot of people just don't have, aren't willing to do. There was a quote in there. I wrote it down here. I told him I was going to remember it. I knew I wasn't going to remember it. But it was from Roy Williams. So Roy Williams, now coach of University of North Carolina basketball team, and before was at Kansas, but was an assistant with UNC at the time Michael Jordan was playing. This is what he said, and I was like, dude, that's kind of like, that's pretty crazy here. It just put me, I don't know how it put me, it made me feel a type of way, but it was pretty cool. He said, quote, Michael Jordan is the only player who could turn it on and off, and he never freaking turned it off. So the guy was just always full speed, always full competitive, always wanted to be the best, no matter what. And it was just always. It wasn't like, well, I'm going to be the best here on the court. I'm going to be the best here. And, and then at home, I'm going to turn it off. No, he just never turned it off. He always wanted to be the best. And he knew, his rookie year, when they had that party in the hotel, there's cocaine and all this shit there. And he was just like, nah, it's not worth it for me. I can't do it. I'm not, the grades know what to stay away from. There's a story about Tiger Woods and John Daly. I don't know if John Daly, I kind of remember it. But John Daly was like, Tiger, come have a drink with us. Let's go drink, man. Let loose. He's all Tiger Woods said, "I can't. I got to be up early." Well, what do you got to be up early for? We don't tee off till like 12 or I can't remember what it was. He's all. Tiger Woods said this. Tiger Woods is like, "I'm not as good as you, John. I need to actually practice." And he gets up early, and Tiger Woods is Tiger Woods. For reasons like that. But I think that's what sets him apart. And the same thing as Kobe Bryant. We've heard these stories about Kobe Bryant. The whole story I've told about, I've talked about it here on not a baby podcast, but a Sports Plus Live podcast. He was, called in, I think it was with the Olympics or the U.S. team, called in an assistant, say, "Hey, I need help doing this. Can you help me out?" "Yeah, I'll be right there." And he said he walked in the gym and looks like Kobe was already in the gym for like an hour or two, just sweating profusely. There's just different work. There's different things that a lot of people possess that make them the great at what they do. It was cool. It was cool to hear that story, especially for this younger generation that don't think that, Michael Jordan is the best ever. They don't know why we call Michael Jordan the best ever. Why my generation's like the best Michael Jordan this, Michael Jordan that. You see why now. They're going to realize why he is the best player ever. And it's very highlighted in, a bunch of different games. He did more. There was a part in there where he was injured. He was coming back. He was 100%, but they were limiting his numbers. 7 minutes a half. They had him play 7 minutes a half. And, Jerry Krause is the GM. Same thing. That's kind of one of the things that he kept digging. He kept digging the hole for himself. Is like, well, you could play, but only 7 minutes a half. I'm fine. Doctors gave me the all clear. That's what they came up with. That's what they abided by. But even then, 7 minutes. He did more in 14 minutes a game than a lot of people could do in a whole game. It was just crazy. You just turn it on for 7 minutes. I mean, you let a guy like that loose for 7 minutes, can go 48 minutes straight. He's going to do work on you, and that's what he did. They made the playoffs that year. What was it, 80, 85? It was the second year he got hurt, yeah. 84, 85. No, 6. No, he 84, 85, 86. So 86, 87. I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, they made the playoffs. Number 8 seed playing the number 1 seed, which is the mighty Boston Celtics, who at the time had who they have. They have they had who do they have? I'm trying to think of it off the top. Danny Ainge. They had Larry Bird, Kevin McHale. I can't remember the other guys, but they had 4 Hall of Famers. What they said, and Michael Jordan went out to their first playoff game and scored 49 points on them. But they lost the game. 49 points in the last game. In that first game. Second game, they come out. They thought, I think the game ended up being 112 to 111. Michael Jordan scored 63 points. So not only did he get better from the first game, he scored more points. And almost won in the game. They lost, I don't know if it was overtime or final. 112, 111, I believe, is what it ended up losing. So he scored over half the team's points. Almost a third, 2/3 of the team. Like something ridiculous like that. By himself. And this guy's still young. Second year in the league. And I thought it was really cool because after that, Larry Bird said, "I've never seen anything like it before. I'll probably never see anything like it after." Guy dropped 65 points. Bill Walton was the other guy I'm thinking about. Bill Walton, he was just tearing. It was just tearing. It was pretty cool highlight. And I like the story that happened between him and Danny Ainge. Him and Danny Ainge between game 1 and game 2 went to go play golf, and they're playing golf together. And as they were dropping him off, he goes. Michael Jordan says, "Tell your boy," who was it? "Tell your boy so-and-so I got something for him tomorrow." Dropped 65 on him. That's so cool, man. And just there's a bunch of competitiveness. You just don't see it. I mean, yeah, they could be cool, but like like this day and age, everyone's cool, but on the court cool as well. Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do that to my boy. I'm not gonna hurt." There's just different competitiveness that a lot of people don't have anymore. But there was a really cool story. I like all the layers that were being peeled back. I thought it was high praise, especially when someone like Bobby Knight, said there's no better player out there than Michael Jordan. Nobody. Same thing. No one before, no one after. Same thing with Magic Johnson. Same thing with Roy Williams. They knew even at a young age he was going to be the best ever, and it just showed. That was like episode number 1. The highlights: him getting into the league, his story. Jerry Krause being a little Grinch. He definitely had a complex, man. It was like, dude, like I don't get it, but he got the job done. That's the thing. Dudes like that don't care if they're alike. They just want to get the job done. And they did. 6 championships. 3 in a row. 3 in a row one time, 3 in a row for a second time. Now, that's the second time. That's where we're at right now, 97, 98. It's called The Last Dance because it's 97, 98. And they showed that they highlighted that in there, that the reason why it's called The Last Dance, Phil Jackson was approached by Jerry Krause and said, even if you go 82-0, you're not coming back next year. This is it for you. I just don't get that. If it's not broke, why fix it? What are you trying to do? What are you changing? At that time you've won 2 championships in a row. Why break it? Why would you do that? I mean, I just don't get it. You're going to change that nucleus. You're going to change that team. You're going to change. You're going to change everything. Yeah, you're just going to change everything. For what? Why would you do that? That just didn't make sense. And there's still a whole lot more to go. Still a lot more, there's 3 and 4 next week. So I guess we'll find out. Tune in next week because something's gonna pop off. It's gonna be Dennis Rodman. I remember all that Dennis Rodman shit. I remember all that. I remember, dude, this guy's fucking nuts. Look at him. He's wearing makeup. He's walking in a wedding dress. What is this dude? And I knew about Dennis Rodman because he wrestled too. If you guys don't know that, Dennis Rodman did a tag team match, and it was Dennis Rodman and Hulk Hogan for life against Karl Malone. It was Karl Malone and DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. That's how I knew about Dennis Rodman a lot more too. But yeah, just thinking about it. I don't know if it's somewhere in there or somewhere else, but maybe I heard it on ESPN. But this whole show is really, really cool. If you guys have not seen it, go out to the ESPN app and go check it out because it's amazing. There's a couple other things I'm missing. You can even think about. God, what else? Yeah, there's so much here. There's so much to peel back. My initial thoughts on it was just amazing. It was great to see the background, the kind of the background noise, what's going on behind the boards. They interviewed the owner, Phil Jackson. Jerry Krause, unfortunately, has passed away. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. I remember all this team. Ron Harper, Larry Magic, all these other greats. But this should rest just rest the case that Michael Jordan is the best player ever. It's going to show. You just can't deny it. No one can deny it. Every aspect of being a basketball player, everyone wanted to be Michael Jordan. You just couldn't. But I forgot where I was going. What was I talking about before this? But yeah, I don't know why you would break that nucleus. This is so weird. I just don't get it. But little man syndrome is real. So, just don't be that way. Just don't do that. But he got a job done, so they probably would have won 8 if Michael Jordan didn't leave to go play baseball. Until it was at 90, 94, 95. Yeah. He went to go play for the White Sox. Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was well known that they didn't like the GM, and that's 1 and 2 already. The second episode was mostly about Scottie Pippen, and how Scottie Pippen was the most underpaid guy, the best player, but so underpaid. Signed that shitty contract. Was it like 10 years, $2 million a year? What is it, like 7 years or 8 years, $2 million a year? I mean, could have been paid a whole lot more. My question is, who's his agent? First of all, who would do that? I want to know who his agent was and why he wasn't fired. And as a GM, you'd want to, like, he was that dude, that Jerry Krause was that dude, was like, hey, I got you a contract, just don't talk to me anymore. Don't talk to me about your contract anymore. That's it. You're done. Like, there's no negotiations or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of it falls on Pippen. Why would you take that deal? There's like, that was just bad. You got to feel for Pippen. He definitely was without Pippen, a lot of these championships wouldn't happen. So pay the man. You should have paid the man. Show a little bit more respect to these guys. And then, that was a lot of the issue, but they still won championships. So the moral of the story so far, you could, if you want to take, anything from it, is that, and you can even look at even something like Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, even though the relationship was rocky, you still can get shit done. I mean, just because you don't like somebody doesn't mean you can't work together. Let's put your egos aside, get your shit together, do your part. I'll do my part. We'll get this well-oiled machine going. And we'll win championships together. That's the moral of the story. A lot of people think I have to like you to work with you. No. I'll work with you. Don't fucking talk to me outside of these walls. All right? Don't talk to me. Pay me. Let me do my shit. So that was it, man. I loved it. I loved everything about it. And I can't wait for 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It was cool, man. Michael G. The best. GOAT. The GOAT, Scottie Pippen, a GOAT. Dennis Rodman, the Worm. Beast. A lot of you guys don't know. I mean, a lot of you guys think, Michael Jordan would hit a lot of these, There's going to be a whole lot more going on that you guys don't see. Like Bill Paxton hit that 1-game winner that they showed in there. And then Steve Kerr hits one not that long ago. I think Bill Paxton hits another one to win them championships. So back then, man, there was a lot more white dudes than there are now. But yeah, that's it, man. I enjoyed it. I was geeking a little bit. Who didn't like Michael Jordan growing up? I had my Jordan shorts on earlier. I actually wore Jordans today, but I changed out of them because they weren't comfortable. I'm about to shave my head like Jordan because this damn quarantine got me fucked up. Look at my hair, man. It's just long. Anyways, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk to you guys about on this baby podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Let me know what you guys thought in the description. Follow me on Sports Plus Life on Instagram and Twitter, MRAKACO on Instagram and Twitter, and then also on YouTube, which is where it's going to go on YouTube, Sports Plus Life. And then, so like, subscribe, share. So go and subscribe mostly. And then also, I am on Twitch, MRAKACO, twitch.tv/MRAKACO, Mr. AKACO. Follow me there, man. I'm going to game it up, playing Call of Duty Warzone. Having a lot of fun doing it. You can tell by my eyes. I don't know if you can see them through my glasses, but I have a lot of good times being had. It's fun. Good times, but I'm ready to start winning. I won once. I clutched one up. Go ahead and check my clip. And let me know what you think. So holler at your boy. Thank you guys for tuning in to this baby podcast. And I will see you guys. We'll be talking about the draft coming up in the next podcast. And then after that, we'll have reaction of the draft, and then also reaction to The Last Dance again, episodes 3 and 4. So I'll let your boy, MJ style, let.